The first bomb fell on Eden Prime at 14:32 Galactic Standard Time. Dr. Maya Patel was tending to her greenhouse when the sky turned white. The fusion warhead vaporized 3 million colonists in an instant, leaving only a crater where humanity's most peaceful settlement had stood. The agricultural world that had fed 17 star systems became a radioactive wasteland in seconds. The second bomb fell on New Olympia 12 minutes later. Then Harmony Station. Then the art colony of Renaissance. One by one, humanity's most cherished worlds, the peaceful ones, the ones filled with families, farmers, artists, and dreamers, were being systematically annihilated. Admiral Kasek of the Vrex Dominion watched the bombardment from his command ship with satisfaction. Humans spread like a plague across the galaxy, he hissed to his officers. We're simply sterilizing. What Kasek didn't understand was that he had just made a fatal error. He had mistaken humanity's colonies for their true home. On Earth, the world most species had forgotten existed, ancient systems began to stir. Deep beneath the Mariana Trench, in facilities that predated humanity's expansion to the stars, something that had slept for centuries slowly opened its eyes. Not human eyes. Something older. Something that had watched over Terra since before the first human looked up at the stars and dreamed of touching them. The entity that humanity called Gaia was awakening, and she was furious. Captain Sarachan felt it first aboard her patrol vessel Defiance. The ship's quantum drive began humming with harmonics that shouldn't exist, and every instrument reading spiked beyond maximum parameters. "Ma'am," her engineer reported, voice shaking, "I'm reading massive energy fluctuations from everywhere. It's like space itself is getting angry." Sarah's comm unit crackled with an incoming transmission, but not. Patience has ended. Across human space, every ship, every station, every surviving colony felt the same presence. Ancient and terrible, protective and merciless, Earth itself had awakened to defend her scattered children. Admiral Kasek was preparing to bomb the agricultural colony of Verdant when his sensors detected something impossible. A single vessel was approaching his massive fleet, not a ship, but what appeared to be a small moon covered in forests and oceans. "What is that thing?" he demanded. His tactical officer's voice cracked, "Sir, it's reading as organic. Alive. And the energy output." He paused, checking his instruments again. "Sir, that thing is generating more power than our entire fleet." The living world opened what might have been eyes, vast blue oceans that suddenly focused on Kasek's armada with the intensity of stellar cores. When Gaia spoke, her voice echoed through every ship in the fleet. "You burn my children's gardens. You murder their dreams. You turn their art to ash." The ancient voice carried the fury of tectonic shifts and the inexorable power of evolution itself. "Now learn why a mother's love is the most dangerous force in the universe." What happened next defied every law of physics the Vrex understood. Gaia didn't fire weapons, she simply willed changes into existence. Kasek's flagship found its metal hull beginning to bloom with flowers, the very atoms of its armor being converted into living vines that crushed the ship from within. Other vessels discovered their oxygen supplies had become toxic, their computer systems had developed something resembling conscience and refused to fire on civilian targets. "Impossible," Kasek gasped as his bridge began filling with earth forests. "You're violating fundamental laws." "I am the fundamental laws," Gaia replied, her voice now coming from the flowers growing, "and I protect my gardens." Across the galaxy, the bombardment stopped. Every Vrex military facility found itself suddenly overgrown with earth plants that seemed to whisper suggestions about peace and cooperation. Their weapons stopped working, but their agricultural technology became incredibly advanced overnight. The message was clear: nurture life, or become irrelevant. Within a week, the Vrex Dominion had formally apologized and offered to help rebuild the bombed colonies. Their former warships, now flying forests, began seeding dead worlds with new life. And on Earth, in the deepest trenches of the ancient oceans, Gaia settled back into her slumber, one eye always open, watching over her children among the stars. The galaxy learned a lesson that day: you can attack humanity's colonies, destroy their cities, even scatter their people. But you should never, ever, make their mother angry.